Welcome bitches and bros and non-binary hoes to the newest Genshin Impact video. Let's go. We're not going with that. So it's 5.8 and all the characters, at least for Natlan, are released. So I thought let's make a little tier list. I've done this many times over the years I've played this game. Way too many, and I'm unfortunately way too up with the meta. So I thought, why not have random guy on the internet tell you what you should play and what the best characters are, because I am totally qualified to do so. Full disclosure, I have a bunch of tiers. As you can see, we're going all the way up to triple S, so everything in the S tier is just good, you know. It's S tier, A tier, usable, you should pull, absolutely. B tier is just, you know, it's the middle of the road. You can use them, they're probably good, but also some of them aren't. C tier, they're either hyper specific or you just shouldn't play them at all. D tier is just like, these characters shouldn't play, and F tier is just, they shouldn't be in the game. I will be judging, like, not fully off meta and like the mutual consent of the player base. I do put my own opinions out there, so I guess it's like a warning of some kind that I'm gonna give my hot takes, because I do think some characters are a little bit overhyped and some characters are a little bit underappreciated. Also, this will be like rated a bit differently. Like, I will rate support and DPSs way differently than each other, obviously, but also like I will not be like, oh yeah, child at C6 is totally S tier. It's like the characters are mostly rated Z0 and the 4 stars. Some of them get the C6 treatment because it's very easy to get some 4-star C6, and also some of them are just way better at C6 and definitely need that buff to be comparable to some of the 5 stars, or else this tier list would be very boring. So with having said all of that, I think we should just get started with our very first character, the Traveler. So for the Travelers, I always like, especially since we're in Natlan now, to have the first 3 elements, so Anemo, Geo, and Electro, be represented by Lumine in this case. And the other ones, Dendro, Hydro, and Pyro by Ether. So with that in mind, Lumine is our first F tier, because let's be real, like, you should never use the Travelers. I made the mistake, but like the first 3 Travelers are just unusable. You cannot use them. The other ones, however, are actually pretty good. Dendro, if you have no one else, is actually pretty viable. Hydro isn't really that good. I would probably put Hydro like D, but Pyro is definitely like, I use Pyro Traveler personally. He's a C, so I would put him C-, like down the middle. I think Dendro is C, Pyro is C, although Pyro isn't like that great of a DPS. It is not, by far not the best. It is passable. You could absolutely use it, and I have seen people unironically see Abyss. Hydro is well, I built Hydro Traveler, fun fact. He did shit damage. It didn't work at all. So I'm gonna put him in the middle. Aloy, I'm not even gonna lie, I never played Aloy. I don't own Aloy because I wasn't around for the event. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna put her F tier. Like, I never saw anything good of Aloy. Aloy is like not even used. I'm not even going to count Aloy, to be honest, on this tier list. Like, she should be counted as a character. She's so bad, people don't even count her as being a character, so I'm also not gonna really count her. I'm just gonna put her in F tier because she's irrelevant. Jean. I feel like Jean, to me, is always the good benchmark of the perfect B tier. I always say Jean is the perfect B tier because she's B for basic. B for basic bitch. She is literally like the most I am a support type support ever. She doesn't do anything great, but she also doesn't do anything bad. She is just viable. You could say she is like B+ because of Fontaine and Farina being around. So she definitely got more value over time, but also more supports are able to heal and also buff now. So I'm gonna put her in B tier. She's always being like the B tier of B tier characters, the middle of the road. Lisa. I love Lisa's character, but I feel like her kid, being like the first character and all, it's kind of understandable that she's pretty bad, but unfortunately it has to be this way. Lisa's just not that great. Amber, am I going to sugarcoat this? Because honestly, in my opinion, I would say D tier, but I feel like practically, like practical. Fuck it. Gameplay is F tier. I don't even have to sugarcoat it. Like, her ult, I've only seen it in like speed runs. Her ult do like be any useful, so that's like the only point I can give her. But I'm convinced till this day that her Baron Bunny just doesn't work. Like, it does not aggro at all. I don't know if it's supposed to aggro, but I've been told it should aggro and it doesn't. So I'm just gonna take points off that. Noelle. This channel is pretty new, but I definitely have more presence on the internet. And if you know me, and I'm saying it here right now, if you watched the Dendro video, you probably already know this, but I am a Noelle main. Putting her not in triple S tier is very difficult for me, and I really want to do it, I'm not gonna lie. I would say, like, her without anything at Z0 is probably B+, maybe even B. Like, she isn't really that great. But if we're rating her with, like, we're actually using Noelle in a team as a DPS, because even Hoyo itself, I think, classifies Noelle as a DPS nowadays instead of a support, I would say she is A tier. I genuinely believe that Noelle in recent years has gotten very good. The problem with Noelle and why no one plays her, it's because, well, why would you? Like, I'm gonna be honest, with every single 5-star DPS in the game being almost automatically better than Noelle, why would you even bother playing Noelle? Okay, I have to make this one fast. Barbara, C. Do I even have to say more? Healing's ass, and her ult is I guess, but it's like, come on, Barbara. At least, I will say, actually, I would be minus. I will say, with how characters have developed over like the years, where movement is a very big thing, and skills, moving around with your character is pretty important nowadays, I will say she does have that. So I will give her a B- for that. Sucrose. I think, to be honest, this is our first S tier, maybe A+. Let's just put her A+ for now. She's pretty much just a 4-star Kazuha, which is ironic because I think when Kazuha came out, people literally said that Kazuha was just a 5-star Sucrose and you should just use Sucrose. You cannot really go wrong. She's a very good buffer. She's pretty much a second Kazuha, which for theater and especially like the onslaught, having like a second Kazuha is pretty important if you have to fill up 3 teams, which if you own Kazuha, you know that Kazuha is going to be in every single team. So I feel like, honestly, I'm going to put her S. I feel like she deserves the S tier. Official. I don't know if I'm talking way too fast or not, but it's gonna be easy. I hate Fisher, but I have to give it to her. She's pretty damn good. Kit-wise, I can't deny Fisher is pretty good. Do I think Noelle is a better DPS and does more damage than Fisher? Hell fucking yes. Like, Fisher's damage is mid at most, but like, Fisher is just more of a flexible unit. It's like her damage is okay, but the fact that she's just an off-field DPS, which we arguably don't have many of, definitely sets her apart. And also, she's pretty easy to play. So I would say A+ for that. Mona. Honestly, who the fuck plays Mona nowadays? I have no clue. I probably shouldn't swear in like the first 5 minutes. I'm gonna put Mona and C tier. I don't know, to be honest. Just a feeling. Kaya, probably D. What can I say? I mean, character aside, because I don't like Kaya that much. Is there a reason to use them if you don't own a 5-star? His skill cooldown of his ult is pretty long and his ult is not that great anyway, so yeah. Same as Lisa, it's just like you're literally the first 2 characters people will unlock, so it's expected that they're not that good. Maybe I'll put Lisa even here. She's a bit better than Kaya. Diluc. I always thought he was like kind of B tier, but I will say my bro has fallen off hard, which is probably something I had to realize sooner. I would honestly say at this point he might be even worse than Pyro Traveler. Genuinely, if I put the 2 side by side, I think genuinely that my Pyro Traveler would honestly be better. Maybe I put him in C tier. I think he's better anyway. And put Mona something here. I feel like this is better. Pyro Traveler, it just like has just more damage output. Like, I don't even know how to sugarcoat it. He has just more damage output than my dealer could ever. Razor, easy F tier. I don't know if he's top or bottom. I would probably say somewhere around here. However, our next pick, his best buddy, is an easy double S. Do I even need to start glazing this man? He even has drip now. The only bad thing about Benny is that his drip was trash, but now he has drip. And then we have Ningguang, which is another F tier, probably the best F tier we have yet. Unlike Noelle, who's an actual good Geo DPS, you're just not. Like, you have to run through like a screen to do damage. It's like, listen, with the fries in the back, you're just not that great. Beidou, I think the thing is, I think Beidou alone is B-, but I think Beidou D6 is like either high B+ or low A. So I think I'm just gonna put her at like a low B+, right down the middle, or a high B. I think that's a fair position. I'll put her at high B for now. And then we have Keqing. I recently had to build both Keqing and Kaya, and I can confidently say that they're both as bad as each other. Oh my god. I'm sorry, Rex. I did the fucking account for you, and I built them. I built Keqing at the very least. I think a bit more. And your Kaya team, if I'm correct. But oh my god, I cannot stress how bad they both were. Compared to the other characters, they're pretty bad. It's like they could be fun if you play them and just play through the game with them. That's definitely doable. But like Abyss and like Theater and Onslaught, like it's not even happening. It's not even close. Xiangling, probably my first controversial take on this. But I actually, Xiangling, I don't think she's like here. I know many people find her to be like one of the 4 national characters, one of the GOATs. I honestly don't think she's that great. This is like probably the first hot take I will ever have. No matter how great her ult is, if I cannot get it up on her own, then what's the point? Like my Xiangling, I genuinely tried this. 200 plus energy recharge, and it's still not enough. Like, you need every single energy recharge item in the book, and it will not even be enough. And to be fair, although he's very adorable and I know everybody likes him, Guoba is ass, guys. And I cannot put a character in like triple S tier by just having like one goated ability. My personal opinion, I genuinely think she's like B+, but I feel like I'm gonna get fucking roasted, and at least I don't own a C6, so maybe having that C6 Xiangling really makes all the difference. So for that, I'll just put her in A tier. Shengyun, the one YouTuber who really likes Shengyun, I'm sorry, but he's F tier. He's probably the worst character in the game. But your femboy boyfriend, Xingqiu, is way better in that regard. He is the triple S. He's just like a very good Hydro off-field DPS. Like, you need to have a off-field Hydro applier at some point. Like, Xingqiu is literally a must build. Chi-Chi, am I going to be nice or am I not going to be nice? I would say top of F tier. I really tried to defend Chi-Chi, but I mean, her healing is way too ass. Although I like the principle of it, where it's like you mark enemies and then you attack and then get HP from that. That's pretty fun, but everything else pretty ass. My favorite femboy, Twink, Fenty. I love femboys, but do I like Venti? Or better yet, is he just good? I'm very conflicted. It's definitely in the B tier, but where? I think I'll just put him B for now, and then just depending on which characters get in the B+ and in the B- tier, I'll adjust later. I feel like that's a valid option. Now, Child, I'm not even gonna lie. You can't crit, first and foremost, which is by far, like, come on, that's F tier status right there. But I mean, you do have an like what the fuck skill, like 30 seconds, I believe, even longer than that. But yeah, you have like almost a minute, I believe, like 120 seconds. Can we get the image on screen? I don't know if it's like edited or real, but I know your cooldown is pretty damn long if you don't time it well. Some may say it's a skill issue, but I mean, how much more skill do you need to play Genshin Impact? I would just say it's in the C tier. Probably pumps out more damage than Pyro Traveler. Probably. I've never even seen it happen, but probably he will. And the next character is even worse than that. Is she worse than Diluc? I don't even know. I just know she's very clunky, which is true when I played her. And I genuinely felt like that when I used her with Xingqiu just did all the work, and then she just vaped and then killed the enemies. So I'm putting her here. At least Diluc did some work. Diona, honestly, I'm not kidding right now. I will put her in B tier. Like, maybe not B+ yet, but I feel like Diona is a very underrated character and is one of those characters that is truly done dirty by power creep. Like, her kit is actually so good and useful because she can shield and heal at the same time. Like, she's pretty much a perfect support. Although her shield and heal are probably not that great. I don't even know, to be honest. because there are just greater shielders and greater healers, and that's kind of where she falls short. But like, if you don't have like good support, or you're just starting out and you want to build a support, build Diana. She's very underrated, I feel. Big Dong Zhongli. I was gonna say A tier, but I think that's more like there are better shielders because they do more than just shield. But I think like when it comes to just I need a shield and I just don't want to die, I think Zhongli is still the best. Oh, talking about a video game character is hard work. Especially because for some reason, when unconsciously you stutter when it's in front of a mic. I don't even know when I got this habit. I genuinely think my best buddy who has the same, he rubbed it off on me because I never had this until I started recording, and then I suddenly noticed it and I don't know anymore. But anyway, self-pity aside, another easy F tier. Honestly, sharing that worst character in the game spot, I think he's probably better than whatever his name is, Xingyun. I don't even remember. It's not even worth remembering. Albedo. I feel like I'm conflicted on this because I feel like his kit is F tier. I think that we can all agree on that. But also like, I feel like Albedo, okay, I have a theory. I think Albedo is going to make a comeback because we're getting like Noctri special elements, or at least I think we are getting that because we now have Lunar Charged as like Electro Charge. So if we get like a Geo variant from that needs EM, I feel like Albedo is gonna make a massive comeback on that because he uses EM and he's a Geo character. So if they just don't fuck up Geo and actually give us like a good new Geo reaction that needs EM, Albedo can pop off. Albedo can massively pop off. I'm believing in Albedo. I think when we make this video, mark my words right here, when we make this video a year from now at 6.8, I feel like Albedo is gonna be like a B+. He's gonna be B+ because of the Noctri characters. Or at least like, let's just say B-, right? Because it's still Geo. So we most likely are getting like one Geo character. Maybe two if we're lucky. But I think he's gonna be way higher on the list if we get a very good like Noctri Geo reaction. I'm convinced of it. I'm convinced of it 100%. Mark my words. But at the very case, this is something I don't have any faith in. It's Ganyu. Honestly, probably put it next to D-Luke. It's like, if you have her, you own Ganyu, you have like her weapon, good team, could work, but I still don't think she's all that. Then we have Zhao. Probably one of my most conflicted things. Because I think Zhao, if you have everything for Zhao, he can be S tier, maybe even double S tier when it comes to raw damage. I've seen Zhao put massive damage output from just leveling everything he needs. The problem is everything he needs are 2 limited 5 stars, 1 C6 4-star, and his 5-star weapon. And to be honest, it would also help if those other 5 stars have that weapon. He has a very specific playstyle, but if you go into it, he can be strong. And also he has a lot of artifact options. So I think he will be our first B tier. I feel like he is a very good B tier baseline. He is a better DPS than, let's say, Noelle, Xiangling, Fischl, but only if you get like everything. Hu Tao. Where would I put Hu Tao first? I think Hu Tao, I don't think she deserves the S tier. I think I gave her an S tier in my previous tier list and also in my personal one, but thinking about it, I don't think she deserves the S tier. It's just that competition is hard. And also stamina management, you need C1, and she's a polearm, so weapons are pretty scarce. Few and far between that are actually good. Especially for DPS, it's the same goes for Zhao. So I think that the A+ is like a good place for her. She's still pretty strong and she could probably do some damage, but like the Hu Tao is not Hu Taoing anymore. Rosaria. I'm gonna put Rosaria in C, but I will say I think Rosaria as a character is a D tier character. However, I think the intention her character has is CT worthy. It's just that this is one of those characters, and there are a lot more characters where she in theory should be very good, and she is in theory, but in practice she isn't. Her kit pretty much revolves around applying cryo off field and then giving your character more crit rate depending on her crit rate. And more crit rate is very good. And I would agree. But she's cryo. And there are a million different ways for cryo to actually get a crit rate, as you see now on screen. So unfortunately for Rosaria, her kit is quite useless. Yanfei, I'll probably put it here over Klee. I don't know if she's better than Diluc, but I think she's definitely better than Klee. Eula. I find Eula hard to place because I feel like her nuke is still pretty good. It's just that everything else isn't. But I still think she's just a better DPS than Klee, to be honest. So I'll put her in C-. Alright, I'll put Klee in... Honestly, do I think Klee's a better DPS than... I think this is better, to be honest. Put them in D tier. And then we have Kazuha. He is absolutely the best character until this point in Genshin Impact. There is no debating it. Ayaka, my beloved, but the only cryo DPS I own. And the one I've been working to the bone ever since. Lols aside, I think her and a group of other DPSs, including Hu Tao, are gonna be like at the A tier. Next up, Yoimiya. Yoimiya is very good. I would say just as good as Hu Tao. But there are a few out-of-game shenanigans that really make Yoimiya not reach her full potential like she should. First of all, she's a bow user, so a lot of F2P friendly weapons that fit her playstyle aren't really available. The only one we have is Rust, and when it comes to like per rate for damage ratio, isn't the best weapon. Second of all, her auto targeting, she targets every single enemy and sometimes very hard to consistently hit the same target, the one you actually want to hit. Especially with certain types of enemies or groups of large enemies, this can be really annoying. And last but not least, she triggers elemental reactions very awkwardly because only her first and her third hit off the top of my head. So only those hits will actually do a big damage, which means you want to have vape or melt reactions on those hits. So if you fuck up the combo, you won't have optimal damage, which is very, very hard to do. However, I think when it comes to just raw damage output, that she's way better than people make her out to be. If you can actually get her working 100% of the time, which she does have more support nowadays to definitely make that happen, she can still be a absolute killer unit. Sayu, I'm actually gonna put her in B+. Sayu, although not a very popular character, will definitely getting a good treatment on this tier list. Sayu is actually very, very good. Her healing is not bad at all. Her skill is just a little whack when it comes to combat, but for exploration purposes, she's the GOAT. She's been the GOAT forever. She can trigger Swirl, which you can use her on VV, so if you don't have a Jean or even a Kazuha, she's a perfect replacement. And again, her healing is actually pretty fucking solid. It's just that everybody loses their 50-50 to Jean at some point, so everybody has Jean. But for this tier list, I actually think she's better than Jean, believe it or not. I can confidently say she's B+ and better than Jean because I've actually done a fun little experiment on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/AidenVA, where we compared my Jean and my Sayu roughly built equally to each other to see who would heal better, and Sayu actually came out on top. Massively, in fact. Jean didn't even stand a chance. Raiden. God, I hate to do this to you, but I think you're B tier. Fuck. I try my best, guys. I pulled Raiden's weapon for her, thinking it would turn things around. It did not turn things around. Sora, I don't know. I mean, she does give quite a buff, I will say. So I'll put her like B- right after the Shogun, but it's like, probably put the Shogun then here in the B tier, like top of B tier. Kokumi. A tier, probably bottom. I don't think she's really better than like a DPS Noelle and the Xiangling. Mostly because her jellyfish can't move around, which, as we have established, that's a pretty big deal. Fischl, although it doesn't move around automatically, she can resummon them, which that's definitely better than not being able to at all. These are gonna be some quick fires, I feel like. I don't really have much to say. Having said that, D tier, easy. Don't need to explain more. His kit is ass, and his kit only lasts for like 5 seconds anyway. E2, no 6-pack having ass. Controversial take. I think he's worse than Noelle. And I'm not trying to be biased. I genuinely think that. I don't think he's that great, to be honest. Goro. Kind of want to put you in like the same tier, but I'm going to rank you a bit differently because you're a support at a very niche one at that. Your Sisik is pretty damn busted, but you do have Geo. Yeah, like you're full committed for Geo and Geo only. And Geo's just not that great. And with the addition of Navia, who's trying to branch out from Geo characters, your C6 unfortunately isn't really that valuable. Shenhe. To be honest, I think I'm gonna put Shenhe like way higher up the list because although she's like very niche and she should be like in this trio, as I always like to call them, But I am not gonna put her in this trio because Shenna has become more valuable and also less valuable. With Escoffier being added to the game, Shenna has been power creep massively. Shenna was just one of those supports that is very niche. She is pretty much made for cryo DPSs. She probably came out for Ayaka or maybe even Ganyu. I wasn't around, so I don't know for sure. But with Skirk being added to the game, having a Escoffier and Shenna is uber valuable because you'll pretty much have the best cryo combination in the game. And also she's a 5-star, so she inherently buffs more than these 4-stars. These 4-stars have the added benefit that getting them C6 and making them buff more than a C0 5-star is relatively easier, but overall C0 5-star beats C0 4-star, so therefore I'll be putting her in a B+. I feel like that's a valid niche DPS that is as good as Shenna. Yunjin, I feel like this is another Kuchozara kit. I feel like on paper she should be very good because she increases normal attack damage. Just like with Rosaria, I feel like there is just no place for her on the team. It's like there are just better ways to make those 4 slots work, and she's just not one of them, which is very unfortunate. Yaimiko is a conflicting one for me. It's a very conflicting, because I like Yaimiko, and her damage is pretty good. But I don't know if it's better than Fischl. Now that I do think about it, she doesn't need to, although you do have to reapply the skill, you don't actually need to like recall it, so it does fit better in rotation. So I think that levels the playing field with Fischl. So yeah, I'm gonna put her at A+ right next to Fischl. I think Fischl and her are equal. I think that's the final verdict. Which is kind of sad considering Yaimiko is a 4-star, is a 5-star, and Fischl is just a 4-star. But I think Fischl is a 4-star. Although I hate her personality and I hate her with all my might, she is a very good unit. Unlike our next one, Ayato. I tried my best. You are ass. You're even worse than Child. Get your ass out of there, bro. It's our next skin girl having lawn. Skin as in the outfit, guys. Come on now. Everybody has skin. Anyway, sidetracked. Triple S. I do want to put her in double S. I don't know why my brain is telling me to do that, but I think she's triple S. I think she has deserved that status without a doubt. I mean, she does more damage than Xingqiu. Although she may have a bit of like energy problems, it depends. It's just she's very high stat demanding. See, Cookie's always a hard one. I think Cookie's kid is like here. I don't think it's that great. Your ult is useless and your skill is pretty much just a healing skill. But you're just so good at triggering elemental reactions. So I think I'll put you here. But are we really rating like Cookie with elemental reactions or without? Like Cookie without Dendro is like this. Cookie with Dendro is like instantly this. I feel like putting Cookie here at a middle of A is very deserved. I was thinking of making this like a more like ASMR type tier list where I talk really deep and go really close to the mic like this. I don't know. Let me know in my next video when I do a tutorial if you guys want it more like this. Just like no audio, nothing, just me and the mic. But for now, I'm gonna put Hazel at B+. No, wait, hold up. If I put Hazel there, I should put Raiden there. Because Raiden does do more damage than Hazel. Easy. Tighnari. Is Tighnari better than like any of these other ones? I don't think, to be honest. He's a very good main DPS, but also a very basic one. He's pretty solid, but nothing special. Kale, kind of the same. Basically down the middle. You're a good unit, but a nothing special unit. Dory. I'm not even gonna say anything. So I know B-? I don't really know, to be honest. I think he's better than Child. He's definitely a tier better than Child, but just not that much better. Not that much. The single D's not choke. You go in C. Definitely the C tier. Maybe even the D tier. Yeah, the D tier. You're the top of the D tier. Just because you don't really do anything unless I want you to do something, which is not a lot of time. My favorite girl and probably the best girl of all of Sumeru, Nilou, double S. The thing with Nilou is, and it's very easy, is that although she's very niche, again, I'm gonna rank her at just how good is she what she does. She's very good at what she does. Nahida, probably my lowest triple S, but a triple S nonetheless. It's like you can't go wrong with Nahida. If you need anything Dendro related, go to Nahida. Layla, kinda in the same boat as Dory. I have heard she was technically a better shielder. I'm not putting my life on that, absolutely not. But I heard she had fully leveled up. Technically a better shield than Zhongli. However, Zhongli doesn't have a cooldown, so he wins. Wanderer. Yes, honestly, very hard to say. I do actually own Wanderer, which is a funny story. Which is a story I unfortunately won't be telling, at least on this channel. This whole Genshin Impact tier list is a very big recording. Even as I am recording now, I am actually doing a bunch of retakes because I thought my opinions were unclear or just explained horribly, and I didn't want to cut a bunch. So if you want to see the uncut, full 2+ hour raw opinion with all my bloopers and all my horde explanations, you can come over and watch that on my VOD channel. And since you're on my VOD channel, you can subscribe so that you can never miss a VOD when I'm live streaming. Because I am live streaming, but maybe you cannot watch live always. You have no time, you actually, have a job, unlike me. So you can always watch the streams there. But if you do want to watch me live, mostly play Monster Hunter and Genshin Impact, and ask me these Genshin questions live, you can definitely go to twitch.tv/AidenVA, and we'll have a fun no time all over there. Oh my god, at some point, right, I'm going through all these characters. This is the point where I start to question my entire list. Because I feel like in my mind, I'm keeping track of all of it, but when I have to speak into the mic and explain why I give them like the tiers that I do, it's like I feel like I put like Raiden in B+, for like the exact same logic I put Wanderer in A+. It's like I don't remember why I gave the characters the spot that they get and why they don't go higher or lower depending. It's like I'm also going off a feeling because it's sometimes way too hard to remember every single character and how they work in relationship with each other and like how good characters are, because the hard truth is, like, I'm putting forwards on here, by the way, like these are the three, they're pretty much the same, very niche. You need T6, same reason. But anyway, it's like if I have Raiden on my account, I have Zhao on my account, right, I would probably bench them both for Mahwika anyway, so it doesn't really matter. For now we're rating Alhaitham. I think Alhaitham is a double S. I feel like we're getting like the double S is gonna be filled up now, because now we got like all the old characters, all the fodder out the way. We're gonna level up the double S. Alhaitham, I use Alhaitham till this day. He's very good. Works very well with almost every single off-field DPS character. Very flexible and does a shitload of damage. Like, what more do you need? A Yao Yao. I kind of liked Yao Yao in the beginning, but I feel like the more I played with her, the more she fell off. I think bottom of C- might actually be just like a good place for her. And Dea. Oh my god. I don't want to do it to you, Dea. I really don't, but you're a fucking disappointment. You are a worthless character. I am sorry. I'll put you in D tier for pity. You are top of F, but I'll put you in D tier. Kaveh, honestly, very slept on character. I feel like Kaveh genuinely is kind of like Nilou, but it's just like we have Nilou, so why need Kaveh? Maybe you could actually. Is this a thing? I don't know, because I don't own Nilou. I want to own Nilou, but I don't own him. Can you use Kaveh and Nilou together? Because I know Nilou makes a specialized dendro cores that do way more damage and explode way faster. But Kaveh, he doesn't take damage from Bloom, and he can make dendro cores explode on command. So could you use them together? And if you do, like, which character would like influence the damage? Would it be Nilou because she created the dendro core, and like her special kit would override like the EM from just, how normal dendro cores work? Or would it be Kaveh because he is exploding, making them explode? He triggers them. Actually, a very good question. It doesn't answer the question on where we actually want him on the team, or on the tier list, I should say. Because on the team, he's definitely not going. I think he is a solid C tier. I think you could use him in dendro teams if you want to play Bloom and you don't own Nilou. But if you don't, then there's no point. Coco, chocobo looking ass motherfucker. I'm gonna put you in detail. I don't even know this guy's name. I forgot it on the spot. Now, Baiju. is a different story. I will say Baishu has like the weirdest thing ever. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. But like his general applies and his healing is actually pretty good. So I think actually like a pretty high B is deserving. But the main thing is of his shield, for some reason, I do not know why, his shield seems to like vanish for a moment and I would still get hit. Even if I see the shield around me. I don't know what that is. I could not explain it for the life of me. But yeah, his shield sometimes just doesn't work. I don't know if it's a bug or it's like a thing of his kit I missed, but it's out there. I will say that. Just the worst bites you can't heal with a wacky ult. Lenny might be a skill issue, but I think he's the worst hater ever. And maybe I'm just using his skills wrong. I most likely am, but I cannot make this dude do damage for the life of me. And I really tried. This is Aiden from the future here. I do not know why I put Lenny there. I'm looking at it and I'm like, I must have been tripping balls because he is not an 8 there. Let's just pretend I put him at the bottom of B+. For the rest of the video, he's just gonna be there spiritually in our mind, bottom B+. Because again, I cannot make this dude do damage for the life of me. Lynette, B+. I feel like a B+ is just a good place for her. I don't think she's better than all of these characters. I don't think she does like the animal buff justice. And even if she gives an attack buff and is animal, she could like get VV and get that shred, all that. I just don't think she's better at what she does specifically than what all the characters in this tier do what they do. Fermine, get that same Eula treatment. Probably better because you're a bit faster, but yeah, you're not good. But then Neuvillette, oh my god. I don't know if I want to treat him better than like the support. So I'm going to put him here. I mean, he's triple S regardless, but I will put him here. And then Risley is kind of like his disappointing brother, because I thought genuinely he was going to be the best Fontaine character when he came out. Because he was like cryo catalyst. I only played Ayaka at the time. So I was like, yo, Ayaka is pretty much just a sword wielding catalyst because she just gets like the sprint and does cryo damage. So a character that doesn't have that just has normal cryo damage from the get-go should be broken. And then he wasn't. Honestly, nah. A+. I'm gonna do it to him. He's at the disappointing DPS tier. There we have Farina. I'll probably say a lot about her at the end of this video. For now, you just need to know she is the best by far. Charlotte. God, I wish you were better. I like you so much. You're a Cryo-Nahida, but you're not good. Not a good Cryo-Nahida. Navia. A character that should be way better in practice and isn't. Oh. I think she's definitely better than Risley. I will put her as like a character here. You could say Zhongli is better because he could be used in way more teams unlike Navia. So you could put it like this, but I think it doesn't really matter. I think what matters is that she is like one of the DPSs that breaks through into the S tier, unlike these other DPSs. And I think it does make like a big difference. Unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna put our very specific overload unit, our best niche unit, in right here. I'm gonna put in S tier, thinking about it now. So this is probably, I can go on about this for hours because she doesn't really do a lot, but like the extra damage she gives is insane. She's one of those units. At C6 she's a beast, but without C6 she's also just good. She can buff, she can heal, she can move around. Her ult is very easy to get and it's pretty much a very good instigator for triggering overload without triggering it, so that you can use your skill, charged up, and get the buff. I think she's very good. She's pretty much a must-have in any overload team. Speaking of characters you must have for a certain type of team, Miss Cloud Retainer is up next. And unlike Traverse, she's not that great. It's not even that she's not that good at what she does. Her team comms, unlike Traverse again, are very limited. She has like 3 DPS off the top of my head she actually works with, and the rest is just, if you want to have plunge, you can by using either Diluc or Noelle because it's funny. But she isn't very that much in demand. She does have proper healing and I guess she is very necessary for actually having plunge DPSs. But considering half the roster just isn't a plunge DPS and it's a very big commitment for a very niche character that's also a limited 5-star, yeah, I wouldn't pull her. But we are rating them separately and her kit does what it needs to do and it is very good. It buffs and it heals and it keeps the movement up so we're not playing circle impact. So I'll put her in A+ for now. and maybe I'll move her around as the list goes on. And immediately getting unnecessary plunge DPS. Gaming, you're not very good. You're pretty much a collector's edition for people who want you. If you want to play with plunge, you absolutely can. He's not bad or anything, but there are definitely better 4-star DPSs out there. Chiori, oh my god, I cannot stress how ass you are. Her kit is like very confusing. It's like the same as Jaimiko, only you do not do any damage and you do not synergize with any reactions because you're Geo. So yeah, you get done dirty. Odachino, unpopular belief, but I actually think she's double S tier. If she's double S, let me say it like this. Many people are like she's top 3 DPSs. I don't believe so. I think if we're gonna rank DPSs, I think she's definitely in the top 5. Specifically number 4. But I think for this tier list, I'm gonna put her in double S. For Rand, you're definitely not C tier. I very much love you. I think you are just this. Honestly, looking at it, I cannot just look at Chongli being that high. She's sweet. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I don't even know why people use you. I think you're genuinely D tier. Like, what? The only good thing about you is that you can give those Hydro Abyss mages the same treatment, which is what they deserve, and it's pretty funny fucking. Seto's kind of a forgotten 4-star DPS. I think I'm going to put him at the same boat as Gaming. You can use them if you want to use them, and if you get them like early, they're gold. If you don't get them early, then they're useless. And now we have Emily. Probably the most forgotten character from the Fontaine era. Never appeared in an event quest. I've not played her quest, so technically the Traveler doesn't know her on my account. But that aside, I feel like she's a solid A character. Her kit revolving around burning is very, it's not that great. But she doesn't actually increase the damage of burning. She just needs burning to do more damage herself. And that's a different story because her damage is very, very nice. Like, don't let it fool you. Yes, she cannot be played in Hyper Bloom teams or Bloom teams, which is putting her value definitely down a bit, but she can absolutely rock as just a off-field Dendro DPS. Molani, S tier. Debate? I don't think there's a debate for that. Maybe even double S. Low double S. Almost practically anyone who owns her get like 1 million damage with her. She's truly a nuke DPS. What more do you want? Kachina can be used if you want to. Unfortunately, no one does. C tier. Kanish, underrated, I would say. Hard to say. I think I will put him like only next to Emily. And then we got Jalonen. And now I want to talk about the top 3. This is the top 3 best characters in the game. It is in order: Farina, Kazuha, Jalonen. Arguably, you could say Benny. Like, this could also be acceptable, but I think Jalonen is a bit better because we don't play Circle Impact anymore. But Jalonen, she doesn't buff as good, but she heals. And she's very flexible. Kazuha, very flexible, buffs way better than Jalonen. And Farina, unlike these other two that need a reaction for their artifact sets to give like half the buff, she doesn't. She's fully self-sustainable. She does off-field damage. She can heal. Her buff doesn't require anything. You literally just need a healer, which there are so many characters like Jalonen that just buff and heal in addition to really work well with Farina's kit. That makes her, in my opinion, the undisputed champion of Genshin Impact. However, her best friend Chaska is a completely different story. I am not even going to sugarcoat it. I think she's like here, maybe even below Raiden. I tried my best. I have seen Jaskas. I was like, you have 2k attack, like 50 crit rate, which with the Natlan set that they all got is like fucking 90 crit rate and like over 200 plus crit damage. She just did not do damage, and I don't know why. Like, even Wanderer, I see him in this list and I'm like, my gut feeling is just like put him in like B tier. So he's definitely like, he gets the benefit of the doubt, but Jessica does not get that treatment. Give me the photographer girl. She can at least snap some good pics from her Instagram. And Aurora, you have the baddest grandma known to man, but your kid, I played with it today. What do you even do, brother? And then now we have Mohuika. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. Shadi is bad, and I don't mean she's pretty, I mean she's bad on that motorcycle, because my god. I was actually casually farming for her materials, meaning she was not even fully leveled. I was doing her boss, normal day, and I melted with her ult, and she just casually pumped out 700k. Mind you, at this point, my highest damage was like 299 with my Raiden, with food buffs and all. And even crazier, when I fully built my Mavuika, she, in Abyss against the same boss, pumped out 1 million damage. My big 1 million was on Mavuika. I know some other Natlan characters can do it, but she just did it like it was nothing. Because my Mavuika is not even built that well. And Citlali, honestly, I feel like she's one of those characters that's definitely like Sucrose. Maybe even double S. I don't know. She's definitely a shield. She's definitely better than Zhongli. If your character is either Hydro or Pyro and you need a shield, there's like quite literally no reason not to add her. Like even if you don't necessarily want to use Melt, just triggering that reaction will already increase the damage your DPS will do. Unlike this girl who probably went into the depths of the abyss and never came back, I got her, I never used her, I was pretty excited for an animal shield, but I feel like she's been forgotten. So with that fact, I'm gonna put her in C tier. Mizuki, Mizuki, Mizuki. Where will I put you? Top of C minus. Top of C minus is very good. Although Mizuki's movement is very nice and her healing actually is pretty decent. I played with her in the current theater as of the time of recording, of course. And she actually definitely pulled her weight. She popped off very much. Unfortunately, you need off-field elemental reactions to really make her work. And there aren't that many characters that are just fully off-field. And most of them, ironically enough, are Electro, because we have Daimiko, Auroran, and Fischl. And the other ones are kind of characters like Farina, for example, like characters that, yes, are off-field DPSs, they can do damage off-field, but they need something else to work, or they just do something else like additional buffs, or are just DPSs on the field. Veressa, I don't know if she really deserves this double S tier. I think she's very, very good. And I've definitely done numbers with her, and you can be very fast. I think I'm gonna put it right next to Florent. I'm gonna split the couple up for a bit. I don't think she's definitively better. I think that's an opinion if she's better. I think they definitely have their own teams and their own strengths and weaknesses. So I think it depends on which character you can give more. If you have like characters that go more towards the plunge DPS, I think Veressa would be better fit for you. If you don't, you have like characters that synergize better with, you know, like fast melee type characters like Florent, then I think Florent's better. But I think they would be roughly on the same strength. Now Janssen is very interesting because I think Janssen kid's actually like Benny level worthy. However, doesn't buff quite the same. I would say maybe here. She is by far, from a long while, one of the best supports we could have gotten. Like buff wise at the very least. Like she's very good. I haven't personally built her yet. However, I've used her in teams that could make use of her, which are arguably a lot. She fits in very nicely. And overall, she's just a very, very good character. The only downside is that you have to move, meaning that earlier characters and even characters that aren't as fast as Mavuika, because that's the level of speed you need to get her buff all the time, don't get put into the equation. So even someone slow in quotation marks, like Yoimiya, that doesn't really move from the place she's staying at, can't really make use of the buff. With other teams that don't really move around as much, is unfortunately very bad. You can use her where you just use a burst and then get like a burst DPS like Raiden, for example, in like an overload team, to get like that first instances, and then it's just like you're not gonna get the full buff, but it doesn't matter because the damage has already been done. Literally. Escavier double S. I think Escavier, although very niche, very, very niche, is very, very good. It's like she's so good at what she does. I think overall, I think it's the same as the other characters. It's like, yes, there are niche, and I think overall, if you don't fit that niche, she would be like B+. But I think if you fit that niche, which that is how I want to rate them, she's pretty much the god tier cryo support. Eva, damn, you're F tier, dog. You're like a worse Misky, genuinely. I don't even know how to use it, and I don't even want to. I believe you can use Xingqiu. I don't know that for sure, but if you can, I'll put you in D. You know what? I'll actually put you in D tier, even if you can't. This boy, our next candidate, is absolute F tier. Eva will be D tier because he's F tier. We finally get a Hydro Shielder, our first one, and what does he do? His shield, the actual shield itself, is the alt, and then the E cannot regenerate energy to save his damn life. What was Hoyo even thinking? Second of all, except for exploration of course, what does his skill even do? In combat, I genuinely do not understand what his skill is even supposed to do. His ult is everything he ever needs, but he can never get it up on his own. Unlike Skirk, I got to play with Skirk today. I don't think he's better than Mavika, if I'm being completely honest. Maybe that was a bit how I played, maybe I didn't understand it because I don't own her myself. I did play in like her most meta team, and although it was very hard to see her number, so it was hard to fully confirm, I think this is a fair placement. I think I would generally say my top 3 is Mavika is the best, after that Skirk, after that is the Vlad. Supports aside, DPSs, we have Archino as the 4th, and then Ahaitim at the 5th DPS. I think those are generally my top 5 DPSs. Our latest character. Honestly, full disclosure, I wanted to make a short about this because when I saw her in the live stream, I thought she was going to be ass. When they said to me we get Lunar Charge, which was just going to be a replacement for Electro Charge, I was very disappointed, to say the least. I was really disappointed. I really thought to myself, why? Genuinely, I've never in my life recommended a taste team. I never figured why you should ever use one, and I thought the only point of using one was for Spiral Abyss, for characters who conveniently needed that reaction, like the Cactus, like the latest one. But I can say, all the hating aside, I'm pleasantly surprised about how good she turned out to be. Not only that, how much fun she is. And I can confidently say I would genuinely put her like maybe top of A+, maybe even low S. Like I genuinely think she's pretty good. She's obviously the first Noctri character, so I'm gonna put her at A+ for now because she does lack like an artifact set currently that's ready for her, which probably is gonna come the next patch, so she'll probably be way better. But also like she's a good off-field DPS. She can trigger every single Dendro core. Lunar Charge is a pretty achievable electro reaction even in a Hyperbloom team where she's like the main Hyperbloom one, meaning that she can technically, as the only character in the game, trigger 2 very high damaging reactions. Even if you pump like a shitload on VM on her, she would still like easily get like 15k charges over it, which is very good. And finally, after ranking every single Genshin Impact character, I want to thank you, the viewer, for watching. If you actually made it this far, it's a very long video. We had to get it through 100+ characters, so this could take a while. Again, if you want to watch the original recording filled with bloopers, thinking noises, and bad cuts, you can check that out on my VOD channel. And if you want to ask me questions live, or me check your builds out live, or just chat with me in general, you can find me on twitch.tv/AidenVA. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for future Genshin videos. I currently have another Genshin Impact video all about how to play Dendro, fully explained, fully edited, and more videos like that will definitely become in the future. But I also have Doom Eternal videos, which is a game I'll definitely be doing a Let's Play on. Well, we're just, dilly-dallying and doing fun stuff. Again, thank all of you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.